Sometimes many problems have one single root cause, and this one single root cause has only one solution. And if you apply that solution, you are able to navigate to the next level of your game. A lot of people ask me, Hardik, I spend a lot of time in deciding what I have to purchase and how much do I need to purchase. And as my business grows, this activity only becomes more and more cumbersome. Some people also ask me, Hardik, I have tremendous amount of dead stock, and every year the debt stock only keeps increasing, and I also end up spending on renting for keeping this debt stock, renting bigger warehouses. They also ask me, Hardik, I never have the right number of people. Sometimes I have more number of people than what I require, eroding my profitability. And then there are these other days when I don't have people to fulfill orders. Therefore, even the turnover is not possible. Now, all of these problems have one single root cause, and that is erratic sales. Sometimes you get 100 orders, the other times you get 10, and then you get 50. The solution to this erratic sales problem is sales planning. Wait, hold on. A lot of you may have different notions about this word called sales planning. What I would encourage you to do is not stop this video here, but see it fully, because there are aspects of sales planning that I'm going to cover coming from my 10 plus years of consulting experience, consulting to businesses just like yourself. So who's this video for? This video is for sales professionals. This video is for MSME entrepreneurs, small and medium sized entrepreneurs. And this video is also for young professionals who have joined or are planning to join their own family business. So if you're one of them, I would strongly recommend you to watch this video right till the end. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. So first, I would like to cover the basics of sales planning. And for that, I have 4 points. Number one is goal. What's the goal of sales planning? For that, I want you to imagine the easiest sales that you could do ever in your life. If you think about that, you would know that that easy sale happened because of three things. First, you were able to reach the right person at the right time. Second, you were able to get the right product which solves his problem at the right time. And third, you were able to talk the language that is understood by your prospect or that hits the prospect's emotions. Now, isn't it sane for you and me to repeat this easiest sale again and again and again instead of trying to build up another ways? Now, the goal of sales planning is to be able to realize the easiest sale and then replicate that again, again, and again. Now, if you're able to do that, then we'll be able to make a lot of money very, very smartly. The next 3 points that I want to cover in the basics are typically the ways in which you go about doing sales. And it's important to understand that before we jump into the step-by-step method of planning your sales. So the first method, which is in no real order, is lead generation. Lead generation is a method where you are trying to get people to sign up into something or reach out to you to inquire about your product. It could be via ads, it could be via participation in an expo or any other means. Now, when people reach out to you inquiring about your product, you attempt to convert them into actual sales. So that is lead generation. Lead generation typically is an activity of building trust. If there is no trust, then there is no conversion. So if you're adopting this kind of method to doing sales, the first thing that you got to do is write down the actions you will take to generate trust in the mind of your prospects. And you got to also write down the frequency at which you are going to do this. When you write this down, you also ask yourself, what is the kind of target numbers that I have? So what's the market looking like? Do I have 100 people that I can start building trust on? What's my database that for action? If that's 100, then you write that 100 as a base number. The second thing that you do is you write down after how many months of activity or how many days of this trust building activity will this person have more or less trust in me for me to put a sales offer. Now, when you write that down, you know that these are the number of people that you are prospecting. And then you write down how many people convert out of the people prospected. That will give you your conversion percentage. Now, if you do this exercise, let's say for a quarter or two, patterns will emerge, and these patterns then can be utilized to make your purchase decisions, because then it will become a numerical work more than a strategic one. So you will know that, okay, if I reach 100 people for 2 months, the third month 80% of them will have trust, which is 80 people, and out of 80 I will convert 60 of them, and that's the number that I got to have products ready for, or that's the kind of manpower I need to have to serve this 60 people. Now if you want to increase it, then you double it up or triple it up, whatever you like. The second way of doing the sales is called beat planning. This is physically reaching out to your prospect and placing your product there. This is typically done in a retail environment. In this case, to make it efficient, it's important for you to have a beat plan, which typically is like a timetable of when your salesperson will reach out to who in the entire week, in the entire month. If you do this efficiently, you are able to reach out to the right kind of prospects with the right kind of product. That brings me to point number two. The right kind of product is always in this environment, in this kind of sales, is a product that is highly profitable and has natural demand. You are not creating a demand here, you're playing on the existing demand. Again, in this environment, you got to write down how many people were you able to reach, that's your base number, and therefore how many people were you able to convert, and that will give you your conversion percentage. Again, when you do this for a quarter or two, you will realize patterns which you can use for your purchase, inventory, and manpower planning. The third way in which you could go about doing sales is via channel partners. Now, this could be you're a principal, you're a manufacturer, and you have distributors. Distributors in this case are channel partners, or you're a distributor and you have retailers. Retailers in this case are channel partners, and you go about giving products to them so that they can sell it to the end consumer. In this scenario, in this way of doing sales, it's important to understand two things. First is recruitment of the channel partner, and second is performance management. Why I say this? First is a channel partner is like your salesman. If you don't have the right kind of channel partners, then no matter what you do, no sales is going to happen, or at least the kind of sales that you want is not going to happen. So it's important to write down what is the right kind of channel partner, profile that person exactly like how you would profile what is the right kind of salesperson. You would write down he should have 3 years of experience, he should be able to talk in English, he should be willing to travel, etc., etc., and he should have XYZ skills. In the same way, when you recruit a channel partner, you got to write down that he should be in a geography where the average income of people in and around is X. He should have X number of retailers under his belt, and these retailers are supposed to be of this kind and in this geography, and he's willing to stock at this level and take the next order also of this stock. If you do all of this, then you are able to recruit the right kind of channel partners. Second thing, why do you have to performance manage? Because a wrong kind of channel partner, a channel partner that is going slow in comparison to the others, may add on to your number, the base number of how many channel partners you have, and it will only deteriorate your conversion percentage. It will give you a wrong message. So you got to have the right kind of channel partners, and the ones that are not great or are slower, you need to eradicate them, unless of course you are keeping them and not allowing your competitors to enter. Then in that case, you may want to profile your channel partners as A category channel partners, B category, and C category, so that you take the percentage of conversions differently for all three partners. If you do it in this fashion, again, you will see a trend or a pattern in the channel partner type A, in the channel partner type B, in the channel partner type 3, and accordingly go about manufacturing, importing, or servicing the products. Purchase, inventory, and manpower is something that you can manage with the patterns that emerge out of this. Having said this, let me move to the next portion of our video, which is step-by-step sales planning. Now, I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritties of sales planning because I know you guys are smart enough to pick a clue and take it forward from there. Having said this, should you require any specific help, please mention it in the comment box and I'll be very, very happy to help you on that front. So I'm going to give you 5 steps to go about doing your sales planning. Step number 1 is to define your customer segments. Now, when I say define your customer segments, you got to write down what your ideal customer type is. And you may have several different type of customers, which means those are several different sales pipelines. If you have 5 of them, you have 5 different pipelines, and you got to evaluate them separately so that you kind of don't mix it up and get confused. If you evaluate them separately, you will be able to see, okay, pipeline number 2 and 3 don't do well and eat up on the profits that are generated by the other pipelines. And therefore, you may take a decision to not go ahead with that pipeline and go and deal with other customer segments only. The second thing that you got to do is you got to write down what your sales pitch is going to be, which is what is the message that you want to give to your prospects. Now, this message can be utilized for the sales pitch and also for trust building exercise. For doing that, you got to do 3 things. First, you got to write down the scenario in which your customer segment type is. So my customer segment type in the step number 1 is I call him Raju Bhai, and Raju Bhai is somebody who is a small and medium sized business owner who has grown his business to more than 20 crores and less than 100 crores. This guy is running the show like a shop, but is now become a bigger business. So it's become bigger than a shop, but is not a corporate yet. Now, I got to write down the scenario in which this person finds himself. So my Raju Bhai finds himself in a scenario where everybody's coming and asking him questions. He has no systems to do anything. He has people which are homegrown. So they are leaders, but not very fine-tuned leaders. He does not have an ERP or any system to manage this. And he himself is not an MBA. And even if he's an MBA, he's not applied his learning in his business. He's too cluttered, too involved, and does not know what to do. Now, that's the scenario that the person is in. So you got to write this down. Once you write this down, then the next 2 things that you do is you write down what is the utility of your product or your service. In my case, the utility of consulting is that he does not have to do these things himself. So I'm not going to be training him and then leaving him for him to do his work. Neither am I going to be training him and then checking with him whether he was able to do his homework. I know he does not have time. He's involved in his life business. I can't peel him off that. So my utility is I will deploy a consultant who will do these things for my customers. And that is the utility, the logical part of why he should buy my consulting. The third thing is the emotional aspect of why the customer should buy your prospect, buy your product. Prospect, I don't know what I was talking. So why emotional aspect of why customers should buy your product or service. In my case, people should buy my product or service because number one, they can go for a vacation without having to worry about what's happening in your business, because there will be systems that we will create on behalf of the customer. He simply has to approve of it and know what the systems are. He does not have to create a system by learning. That's the emotional appeal. He will get free and yet have a growing, thriving business. Now, you once you write this down, then you are able to utilize all of these three statements to create your sales pitch. People buy with emotions and justify things with logic. So you need both, and emotions and logic will come out of the scenario that the person is in, which is why you write the scenario first. The third thing that you do is based on the scenario, their sales pitch, and the customer type, you have to select, in fact, the kind of sales activities you will do to reach out to your prospects on a continuous basis in the most efficient way. So the kind of activities would mean whether will you do lead generation, whether you will have channel partners, or whether you will do beat planning. You may choose a combination of these three to make the maximum buck. The fourth thing that you will do is you will define numbers or measurements so that you know what is happening. And the idea of measurements is to analyze it and course correct. So what you will do is you'll first write down what is the market that I'm going to hit on. So the total market size is, let's say, 100 people. This is the 100 people database that I'm going to be hitting upon. Out of this 100, how many I was able to reach? Chances are you were able to reach 50 of them. Okay, so that is your prospect count. Out of 50, how much was I able to convert? I would say out of 50, I was able to convert 25. There is 50% conversion. Now that is what I will write down on quarter, and then see trends emerge out of that and utilize that trend to correct my inventory, to correct my purchases, and to have the right adequate manpower. The fifth and the final thing that you will do is go about analyzing and reviewing the data that gets generated out of this trend. The idea of sales planning is to understand what is working and what is not working in the right fashion, and keep fine tuning your sales plan to reach as near as possible to the real ground scenario. So in the first quarter, chances are your sales plan and your actual results, or what you ended up doing, can be way away from each other. You may have planned 100 and you ended up at 20, 80% difference. But as you continue to do this and fine tune your sales plan, your knowledge of the market will increase, the people's understanding of the market will increase, and you will understand what is working for your business and what can be replicated. And that, my friend, will make your erratic sales go away and solve a lot of things in your business. Like they say, there is one solution that can solve all business problems, and that solution is called growth. And this will help you get that exactly. So if you like this video, please hit a big fat thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button, break it into two, and see the other videos that are going to come your way. If you have suggestions, comments, then please do mention it in the comment box. Don't hesitate to write there. It will initiate a discussion, and we are all students of business, and we will all learn together. Until we meet next time, keep planning your sales. Do write to me about your experience on what I just discussed in this video, and I'll be very happy to receive it. Until we meet next time, keep planning, keep learning, and all you find people, sell a lot and keep propelling.